What we're going to look at for points for teachers today is how to set up your course settings in Moodle. So the first thing you're going to want to make sure is that you are logged in. Up here in the top right of the screen it says logged in as Jeff Morris, but let's say you weren't logged in. I'll just log out just to show you, make sure. Over here is where you provide your login information. I click remember username so that it will always remember my username, and then all I have to do is provide my password. So I'm going to go ahead and click login. And then I'm going to scroll down. You can either get to your courses here, click my courses, and click on my courses. But what I want to do is scroll down and actually show you what the parents see, because they're actually going to come in as guests, and this is how they're going to see the courses in the math curriculum. What we want to do is, as a teaching staff, is really start to add in the names beside the current courses that we're teaching. So if you see by AP Calculus, mine says Mr. Morris, and that's one of the first things that we're going to set up. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that course that I want to edit. You don't have to turn editing on because we're not adding content to my Moodle page. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to the right to this, or scroll down and then look on the left side of the screen. Over here is my settings. Again, I don't need to turn edit settings on, but I'm going to edit my settings as a teacher. So I'm going to click on edit settings. Under here is where I can edit the course settings. First thing that I would like to do is make sure that my name is added to my course name, and that's what the parents will see on the Moodle page when they look through to go into your class. So I've got AP Calculus, a little squiggly dash, and then Mr. Morris. You can have a short name. It does require a short name, but this is what the students and you would see. If you scroll down a little further, you can look at the other options here in Moodle that you can set up. We have format. I have a weekly format, but there's other types of formats you can set up. The number of weeks in the course. Mine's a year-long course. The course start date. At any time, if you don't understand what one of these what one of these settings would do, you can click on the question mark. Like, for example, number of items to show. You can click on the question mark and it will give you a description of what that setting all entails. The one that I do want to highlight, though, is maximum upload size. You do need to have this set to 100 megabytes. That's the maximum size for the course, and that is set up for you as a teacher, the files that you can upload. It doesn't have anything to do with the student, but it sets it up so that as a teacher you can upload files up to 100 megabytes. I do have guest access enabled, and we do need to have that enabled since we are a public school. We need to have our content available to the public, but you can limit who can see it, specifically to the parents and community members who attend Perm High School. So I have a password set up, and I provide that password to parents in the classroom. Availability, make sure the course is available to all students, and then go ahead and down to the bottom and click Save Changes. The next thing that we need to make sure of at the beginning of a trimester is not only that our settings are correct, but that our user settings are done correctly. So again, we're going to go over here to the course administration and click on users, and we want to go to enrollment methods. So I'll go to enrollment methods. Manual enrollment refers to me as a teacher being enrolled and being able to manually manipulate the Moodle page. Self-enrollment is relates to the students and how they'll enroll in your class, and you can see I have 36 users right now. Guest access, right now nobody's using it, but they're not going to enroll in the class, they're just going to view. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the edit button, which is this little hand, and then under here it's really important to have a couple things set up correctly. First of all, you need to allow self-enrollment, so make sure yes is checked. You can provide an enrollment key, so I could say like math, and I can unmask it to make sure I have it typed in correctly. But I don't recommend having an enrollment key unless you want that extra level of security, because kids already have to have a username and password to be able to access Moodle. So I really don't see the point of an enrollment key unless you want that extra level of security. This should be set to no. Defined student role should be, or defined as default assigned role should be chosen as student. Enrollment duration I have set as 0 days, but you could set it to be 180 or whatever. And this start date, end date is really important. If you want to have a start date, end date, that's fine. You can enable it and have the actual start date of the course and the end date, but I have mine unchecked because then mine is available year-round, and that again is up to you. Enrollment inactive after 120 days. Again, you could set that to be something else. Max enrolled users. This is really important. I would set this to 0. 0 automatically defaults it so that you can have an unlimited amount of users into your Moodle page. So then if you set it at like 30, well then what happens if you have 34 students and you have to go back and remember to change this. So if I have it set at 0, then there's an unlimited number of users in the course. And then I click Save Changes, and I can go back to my home page and click into my course and start adding things to my Moodle site. So that's how you set up your settings at the beginning of a trimester.